the ones with the tree stump or branches or whatever, that's the Woodsmen of the World fraternal organization. Yeah. That's kind of cool, this one. I've seen where there's like logs, you know, on top of the tombstone. Young MD was a doctor in the 19th century. So cool. Yeah, a lot of these graves are either 1800s or earlier 1900s. See, they're all kind of... It's a cool one. Yeah, the old graves were so cool. Oh, this person was born in the 1700s. It looks like 1790 to 1876. Wow. Very beautiful, ornate grave. Intricate work. So, here's another Woodsman of the World. Here's some, yeah, you can always look at the older tombstones, and they're interesting looking, aren't they? Look at the vines going up. I always wonder: is the Woodsman of the World sort of a part of the Masonic, you know, part of the Masons? You know, there's a lot. They say, like the Shriners, they say, are kind of higher up Masons, you know. So they just, a lot of those organizations are sort of affiliated with each other, but sometimes they're different. Like the Eastern Star, you know. Yeah. Here's some. I was listening to a preacher one time, and he made a good point. Or he discussed something that I had never thought of. And he was discussing tombstones and how there's a date of birth and then a death date. And this is the best, because these are older, so I'm not seeing as much. But in many cases, I'm sure you've all noticed that there's a dash. There's the date of birth, and there's the dash. There's a date of death. And the dash is representative of someone's entire life, from the moment they're born until they die. It represents their entire life and everything they did and during the entirety of their life. And I thought that was just as a good observation, or a good way to look at it. Or, you know, I never heard it quite put that way before, but that's very interesting. Here's an example. There's one. See, they're C.W.E. Smith and Curtis Griffin. husband and wife. See, they had the dash. See, you know, that's what that preacher meant, you know. That dash would represent their life, their entire life. Yeah. Thank y'all so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.